On live television, a shocking admission about China has been revealed. Trump officials say that the US couldn't finish the deal with Xi Jinping. Let me tell you what just happened. Hello and welcome to TimesXP. I am Dhriti Athri and let's dive into the topic. Well, imagine the scene. Bright studio light, reporters leaning forward. In fact, cameras rolling live. And then Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he drops a line that nobody expected. We are hopefully finishing the rare earths deal by Thanksgiving. Hopefully, not confirmed, not sealed. A deal that the US had been aggressively pushing, still incomplete. The room goes silent. Now let me tell you what really went wrong with China here. So last month, Washington and Beijing announced a framework, but it wasn't a full agreement. Under this framework, the US paused the 100% tariff that it wanted to slap on Chinese import. China paused its export licenses for earth minerals, the metal America desperately needs for EVs, missiles, satellites, everything. It was supposed to be a major breakthrough, but now the deal is not done. And Bessent says, hopefully on TV, set off And besides saying hopefully on TV, it sets off the alarms because it sounded like the US is still waiting on China. That's right, it's a tug of war basically. Here's why it matters. China controls 80 to 90% of world's rare earth processing. The US military, tech companies and EV manufacturers, they rely on these minerals. Now if China blocks the supplies, the US defense industry, it is going to get hit. Silicon Valley gets hit, the entire supply chain, it will collapse. And that's why Washington wanted this deal finished yesterday, but clearly that didn't happen. Well, the Wall Street Journal recently reported something explosive also, that China planned to cut off rare earths from the US companies connected to the military. A move that would hit the Lockheed and other backbone of America's defense system, including Boeing. But Bessent, he pushes really hard. He said, not true, not happening, China hasn't said that. This tone, it wasn't a calm one, it was defensive, as if Washington is trying to keep the situation from blowing up publicly. Now this is what critics are now asking. Did China gain the leverage simply by delaying? Did the US pause tariff too early? Did Beijing drag out negotiations to pressurize Washington? Well, because Bessent's comment sounded like we are waiting and still hoping. And no American administration likes appearing desperate for just one deal. Now Beijing notes that rare earths, they are its nuclear level economic weapon. It knows that the US military cannot operate without them, and it kind of knows that Washington is under a lot of pressure before the next elections also. So you know what China did? It waited. It is watching. It is negotiating on its terms. Well, this isn't just about trade. It's about who controls mineral that power the fighter jets, that power smartphones, electric cars, missile guidance, and even satellite green energy. So if Washington cannot secure a deal, then China is going to win the leverage battle. The US looks exposed. The Thanksgiving deadline is just approaching and the whole world is watching.